Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Uma Talks. Welcome in. I know we had a lot happen recently in the news. Today is Wednesday, January 22nd. And just on Monday, January 20th, we had Donald Trump sworn in as our 47th president in the United States of America history. That came with a lot of disruption to many people's lives. Most people were happy and joyous for this change of events. And then there was a large majority of the population that were not so happy. So I thought the fitting topic for today would be on protecting my energy. As you guys know, I am the CEO of a metaphysical wellness center called the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center, located in Northern Virginia. I am a psychic medium, a healer, a soul alignment coach. And today with me, I have my friends who are also established professionals in their field. We have a yogi, we have a psychic medium, and we have a healer. And I can't wait for us to start this discussion tonight and find out what we can do to protect our energy. So if you guys would please welcome in my fabulous team of spiritual practitioners. Hi, guys.
Hello, hello. How's it going? How we doing?
We are doing fabulous. All right. I'm going to give you guys a chance to go around and say your name, your business, and what you do in the spiritual realm to give everybody a chance to understand who you are and what your backgrounds are.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump right on in. Hi, I'm Rachel. I am the owner of Cypress Rose LLC. You can find me on Facebook at Cypress Rose LLC. You can also find me on TikTok nowadays, because we're back, hey, at by_I'm_Rachel. And I am just out here happy to be here, happy to talk about and share some tips on protecting our energy. We have lots of good tips for you guys today.
And I love that you have your tea, because I have my tea too.
So, elderberry and echinacea today.
Oh, I just got a plain old Lipton, but okay. Welcome in. Is it Baba Ganesh? Welcome in.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here on the panel again. My name is Ganesha, just like Lord Ganesha, the elephant god. And I'm so excited to be here. I am a 500-hour certified Himalayan Kundalini yoga teacher. I am also a sound healer and just all around lover of all things mystical and God. And I'm so excited. Today, if you're in the DMV area, you can catch me at Vita Fitness. I'm teaching and leading, sound baths there. And today I'm also, going to be at Balian Springs, and I am going to be down at the Lotus in the Light very soon, whenever we get that together.
Can't wait. I cannot wait.
So I'm really excited to be offering, the energy of sound, the energy of vibration, and all of the things that, I have to offer. So.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here, Baba Ganesha. We're so excited to hear all your ancient wisdom that you bring with you for this topic today. And finally, but last but not least, we have our friend Danae.
Hi, everybody. My name is Danae. My business is Here with Danae, healing energy, rebalancing everything. I'm a Reiki master teacher, a doTERRA wellness advocate, and a massage therapist. Happy to spread love and light and to remind people you are you, and that is your power. I host an in memory of grief support group every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And I'm just so happy to be here with these amazing, beautiful people. I'm so excited for our topic for today. So you can find me on Instagram, QueenDJ444, and H.E.R.E on Facebook.
Love it. Thank you so much. And Danae, as you guys know, is my co-host for our weekly Uma's Lotus Lounge show on the Meet Me app and YouTube and our podcast. All right, we see some familiar faces in the comments. Welcome back, Alicia Phillips. I see you in the comments. If you guys are, I see there's a couple of people watching live. Feel free to say hello and join the conversation. It is absolutely interactive, and we welcome your comments from everyone. Okay, let's jump into it. Protecting my energy. All of us have done in our own personal lives and also in our professional settings some sort of protection work, right? And for the majority of us, we know how to do our own protection techniques that I feel would be really good to share with people here today. I like to go down through the line of the aura. So we're going to first start with our physical bodies. We're going to move into our emotional bodies, our mental bodies, and then our spiritual bodies. And I'm just going to toss it out there and hear what great recommendations you guys have for people that are struggling with just constant bombardment. Before we start this conversation, I want to remind you guys that if you are feeling worn down, exhausted, lacking energy, sleepless nights, confusion, scattered, all over the place, can't concentrate for your life, you probably are having this residue from not protecting your energy. So if any of those things hit for you, you may want to listen in and share this. Definitely share this with your friends, your loved ones, so that we can benefit them as well. So guys, when I say physical protection, what do you guys think about? How would you say to people that you have to physically protect your body?
So for me, physically, there's so many different things. We can think about our five senses, right? We have our vision, we have our mouths, we have things that we can touch. We have to protect our energy by the things that we see. First and foremost, okay? What is it? See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. So we have to make sure that we are protecting ourselves by the things that we watch, by the things we put into our mouth, the things that we eat, the things that we touch, or the things that we have around us. Protecting our physical body, our vessel, the one that we're incarnated in, is essential to living in homeostasis. Okay, we want to have that full, thriving, not just surviving mentality. So physically, we have to be mindful of the things that we do and understand the personal power that we have in all of these situations.
I love that. I love that you said that I'm protecting my energy by what I put in my mouth. As I'm crunching on some nuts here, but I feel that's good. I feel it's protecting. But how can you tell me more about that? How can food protect us?
So we all know soul food, right? So we had to feel nourishment from our body. So it's important for me. I protect my body by eating things based on my blood type. My blood type is A positive. I should eat a more vegetarian based. I should avoid certain things because they do something to my physical body. If I eat too much cantaloupe, I'm breaking out in hives. Okay. But that means I can have a little bit, everything in moderation, but I shouldn't be throwing back alcohol. Well, let's say liquor, because I still love my wine. But red wine is actually good for our blood type A. So listening to your body is going to be one of those things that are essential, because sometimes, you know what, depending on what you're going through, you may need a steak. I feel like I once a year need a steak to honor my mom and to reminisce on the closeness that we have. But the rest of the year, I'm going to be doing my best to avoid eating the shrimp because I love them, but they're not good for me.
I got it. So you're advocating for the blood type diet, that it would help you in helping you with your health. All right. What about you, Baba Ganesha? What do you feel about protecting yourself physically?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay, fabulous. So one of the best things that I feel is important to protect yourself physically is to give yourself an opportunity to detoxify your body of anything that is harmful. One of the best things that you can also do, just also in regards to health, is to think about all of the foods that are occurring at the various parts of the year. So if you are eating in winter, what are some of the winter fruits and some of the winter foods that are live foods that you can actually be able to eat right now? You know, oranges are very popular around this time. Why are oranges very popular in the wintertime? They're popular in the wintertime because they contain a lot of vitamin C. What usually happens with people in the wintertime? People are experiencing flus and colds and different things that happen as a result of airborne illnesses. And whenever you're eating and being in the vibration of the foods that are occurring as the seasons occur, you're also ingesting the vital nutrients, even if you don't go out here and get any supplement or anything like that. If we're focusing on eating the live, natural, sun-kissed foods that are occurring naturally in our local environment over the course of the seasons, then we are building a great immune response to anything that's going on. The other thing about that as well is that a lot of people maybe have seasonal allergies as well. One thing that can be amazing for that is trying to figure out where is your local honey farm? Where is your local bee farm? Where can I find some really, and I know that, some people are vegan here, but if you're not vegan and you're vegetarian or, and it is a sustainable way of, a sustainable, healthy, kosher way of, beekeeping, that maybe there's a local bee farm where you could have fresh honey. And honey, just let me, tell you, is one of the most cleansing things that you can put into your body. Honey is actually one of the closest things in the world to human blood.
Wow.
So whenever you ingest it, there's 3 different ways of ingesting honey. If you are someone who's wanting to have honey and just wanting to get the full benefits of it in terms of its vitamins, all of its enzymes, all of the antioxidants, all of the things that it has in it, you can just take a dollop, just take a scoop of it every day. If you're someone that's trying to lose some weight, you can have it warm. You never want to put honey, true honey, inside of hot tea, or hot water. Whenever you do that, you actually burn off all of the incredible things, the incredible ingredients inside of it that can detoxify your body so incredibly. So you don't want to heat it to, I would say, no more than about 105 degrees. So about lukewarm water, warm honey. If you're trying to release some weight, you have that every morning on an empty stomach and you'll see it go by. If you're someone that's actually trying to gain weight, having honey in cold water has an opposite effect. It will actually help to stimulate weight in you if you're actually trying to gain weight. So I would say looking for ways to detoxify, and also tea. Uma and Rachel had tea today. I think that it's very important. Tea is an excellent thing to have. Especially, in the wintertime, makes you feel all warm and all cozy, but especially like 2 hours after you've eaten your meal, it really helps with the, your gastrointestinal tract and, making sure that everything is just kind of emptying out really smoothly for you. And last thing I want to say real quick.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, I have a comment on the eating the foods, but I'll wait until after.
Yes. So that was my thing on on foods, but another thing that came to me immediately about physical protection as well, and I think that my mom is going to be in here, but whenever I started my journey with crystals maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, whenever I had my first experience, and I had one around my neck, and I was around my mom, and so she said, "What you got them crystals for?" I said, "Oh, I just have them for protection." She was just like, "Oh, so you can pick up the rock and throw it." And that's what my mom said.
Protection at
But
its finest.
but what I'll say is some of the best crystals that you can actually use that have been scientifically proven to transmute negative energy, transmute clear energies, and really put up a huge wall of protection in terms of absorbing negativity in your environment. One of those crystals is black tourmaline. Tourmaline is exceptional. It's exceptional crystal for being, holding on your person, holding with you, that's protecting you physically. Also, black obsidian is another incredible one. If you feel like you are experiencing a lot of negative energy coming your direction, black obsidian is another excellent stone to use for you in that regard. Also, the master healer clear quartz, you'll be able to program it in such a way you speak to the crystal, and that creates some protection for you physically as well, and you keep it on yourself. So
I love the going back to the first thing you said about eating food in season. That's an Ayurvedic thing, right? Because I'm an Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant, and they teach us. For those of you that don't know, Ayurveda is the oldest healthcare system originating from India. And it said that only eat what Ganesha said, only eat the food that is in season. And I think a lot of us have these issues that we have, right? Respectfully, because we're eating things that we're not supposed to be eating. You shouldn't be having, say, ice cream in the wintertime, right? And then you just have to honor certain things. Like I know for me, I love salad, but I can't eat salad in the winter times. It's cold on cold for me. And I'm a Vata type. My dosha is Vata. I think Rachel, you're Vata as well. So if we're already cold. So if we eat cold things in the cold winter, we can get sick. We can actually get sick. So I really appreciate you pointing that out. And then the honey, that's amazing. I didn't know how, I'm guessing now you guys think that honey is a superfood. Would we call it that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's an incredible superfood. And the more that you go on your honey journey, you discover that there's more honeys than just the ones that we knew about. In New Zealand, there's a honey called Manuka honey that's actually quite expensive. If you go into Whole Foods, Manuka honey can run you anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks for a jar about this small, but it has incredible properties that are antiseptic as well.
Wow.
You can use this honey on cuts and wounds. It is antimicrobial. It can really go through the lining of the gut inside of your body and really attach itself to anything that's toxic and really draw it out of your system. It is a phenomenal medicine. But the thing about it is you want to take your time and make sure that you're finding really good quality honey, because unfortunately some honey that you find just going to the grocery store is not it. If you find some of the really small bottles, the honey that's in mass quantity and mass supply, unfortunately what they do is they heat those honeys up to such a degree that it burns off all of the valuable minerals and vitamins and enzymes and antioxidants that is inside of the honey. So that's another reason why you want to find local, you want to find sustainable, or you want to, if you're going to go to a store, I would go to Whole Foods or a food cooperative where they are actually very intentional about finding the good honeys that are good for you.
Mom's Organics.
Mom's Organics.
Exactly.
Do you guys feel, I'm going to let Rachel chime in on this one. Do you really feel that having organic food it really makes a difference for you, which are energy, because we're talking about protecting your energy, or is it just a scam of big corporations? Oh, buy local, buy organic. What do you feel about that, Rachel?
I think genuinely organic foods are absolutely beneficial. But I do think that it is hard to find legitimately organic foods unless you know where to look.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like having those organic things is definitely very helpful for your body. Like we made the transition a couple years back from just regular chicken that you get in the grocery store to specifically organic farm grown chicken. And it was a very clear and noticeable difference in the body and how it felt. And like I'll say like things like that about teas as well. Like for example, I started drinking nettle tea. I don't like the flavor of it at all, but I tell you the way it feels in my body, amazing. So recognizing how things feel in your body is very important.
I do drink coffee, but I drink instant coffee because that's what I grew up with in Guyana. We didn't have all the fancy coffees America has, but I put a spoon of mushroom coffee in there. My goodness, have you guys tried the mushroom coffee? Wow. I am more focused. I have more clarity of thought. Sluggishness is gone. My energy is back. I am able to stay focused during the day. I don't know if I mentioned, I did mention that, but it's just my memory is also helping my memory. Now, again, guys, we have to be careful. We're on a YouTube video here. So we're just letting you guys know this is all our opinions. All right. These are not medical facts. So please take everything we're saying with a grain of salt as our own personal opinions. What would you guys recommend for physical protection? We seem to be talking about diet. And I think, Danae, you were saying earlier about exercise as well. Why would you say exercise is a form of protection for the body?
Because, it's crazy out here in these streets. No.
You gotta defend yourself. Is that what you're saying? You gotta fight.
You gotta know how to struggle.
I will say one thing I do always. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Danae.
No.
One thing I will say about like physical movement is that, especially when it comes to healing as well, is that one of the greatest things that you can do for your healing and your wellness is get the body involved. Like moving the energy out. Like whether that be working out, dancing it out, whatever the case may be. If you're in that sluggish space, one of the best things that you can do is actually get yourself up and start moving, building that momentum.
I like that a lot. Welcome in, Afro Latino. I see you in the comments. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Okay, we're talking about protecting our energy. What other things can you guys think about that would be physical? I love that Ganesha talked about crystals. Mm-hmm. Why do you think crystals protect us?
One thing about crystals is that they hold their structure. They hold that energy, and that is it. That is their structure. That is what they are. That is their solid movement, and that's it. So whenever you are in a weird space or anything like that, you can go to a crystal. Like I have my snowflake obsidian right here. I can come to this crystal, and it will always be this snowflake obsidian. It will always have this protective energy to it. Same with like rose quartz. You can always come to rose quartz and it's always going to have that love energy. And that's one thing that you can always rely on and you can always come back to is that solid, steady state just from the organization and the structure of the crystal in and of itself. It provides that constant, steady state of what it is.
Crystals are so grounding. So crystals are grown in the earth, okay? The earth that we live in now. And they have been here for as long as the earth has been here. And as people learn more about it, they develop these uses and how strong and how powerful they are. Crystals are absolutely one of the most useful, resourceful ways to protect your energy.
I like that you said that because the majority of us are online right now. I mean, we're doing this right now online. And I feel like when we get around earth-based things, it helps put off some of the frequencies we receive from going online. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you guys think about the electromagnetic of it all? Like right now, I have my boyfriend got me flowers for my birthday, and I have them here with me. I always have them on the table with me because they're from the earth. And I just feel the need to have something. I have, stones, crystals, around me. Do you guys think it really does make a difference in putting off the online stuff?
Absolutely. I'm very literally sitting in front of a tree right now.
Hug a tree. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I think what I will say in regards to the crystals is that because many people have it's all about your experience, to be honest. Because you could have faith this big, or you could have faith this big. But if you have, no matter how much faith you have, if you allow yourself to be open to the possibility that this beautiful crystal that was made in the earth and formed over thousands, maybe millions of years,
right,
is something that is just beautiful in your life, and you want to just focus on appreciating it, it starts to appreciate you. And I can only say it off my experience, but I can tell each and every single person that's listening under the sound of my voice that crystals absolutely changed my life, and absolutely have walked me into just about everything that I've experienced in my life. That is spiritual, that is metaphysical. My entire journey, so much of my journey was catalyzed by coming in contact with this. I remember I was in Davis, West Virginia, and I was at this place called Black Waterfalls, and it was in my first year of teaching high school, and this was about 8 years ago. And whenever I'm telling you, whenever I walked into this shop, I found myself walking around looking at all these amazing geodes and amethysts and black tourmaline and carnelian and, all these different, and, the snowflake obsidians, all of them were in there. And I walked around that shop and I found one opalite egg. And opalite isn't even a natural crystal coming from the earth. It is actually considered like a man-made glass that has metaphysical qualities to it.
that is correct.
And I touched this stone, and I touched it, and I felt something emanate from it. And I just set it back. And I just kept walking around being like, why would I just want this egg? There's so many, there's beautiful, there's amazing things, there's necklaces. But that one in particular just kept calling out to me.
Yes.
And I tell you, before I knew it, I grabbed that egg, and that egg led me to a shaman. That shaman led me to quitting smoking cigarettes. That quitting smoking cigarettes led me to this. That led me to Moldavite. You know what I mean? And ever since that specific, that opalite egg, it began to bounce. And what I will tell you, this is my number one secret to working with crystals. If you don't believe, this is my number one secret I will tell you. If you want to form a relationship with crystals and see how they work in your life, start taking a bath with them every night and talk with your crystal like this is your friend you're taking a bath with. I'm telling you right now, I know it sounds cuckoo, but this idea came to me. I know it sounds cuckoo.
I'm going to try it.
But I'm telling you, every night, taking a bath with your crystal, washing your crystal, talking to your crystal, as though it is another human being, it starts to, I'm just going to let you have that. I'm going to let you have that. Get creative about building a relationship with a specific crystal,
I love that you say
happens.
that, because there's a lot of people that feel crystals are inanimate objects. But show of hands, how many of us have felt our crystals talk back to us, right? Like I go into a store, it's like I like to handpick my crystals, and I feel they call to me. So you guys can understand what Ganesha is saying, right?
Absolutely. I love that. I do have them around my tub, but I've never I'm gonna really engage. I'm gonna try that. I'm excited to do that.
Invite
That-
them
that's
in.
And can I tell one more quick story about the bath story? Can I tell the
Yes.
bath story real quick? So the bath story with this crystal, I'll tell you, is that there was a time when I was working with blue kyanite. Blue kyanite is a highly energetic crystal. It's very small. You find them in little chips, and they're blue. And they say that they have the power to cleanse themselves, and they don't really need so much charging and everything like that. They're a crystal that does their own thing. And during the pandemic, I want to say about 2021 or maybe even 2020, I said I just wanted to work. I was doing a lot of dream work. I was doing a lot of, wanting to, wanting to have dreams every night. We're just locked in our houses or locked in our apartments. I want to dream. I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. So I was working with blue kyanite at the time. So every single day, blue kyanite and I were taking a shower together, and we were talking together, talking about, what dreams we would have. We would want to achieve lucidity with them. We would want to be able to fly, want to be able to alter the dream, do whatever. And we just had that conversation, me and the crystal and everything like that. And what I will tell you is it very much stimulated this. But even more so, what I realized, what was stimulated between me and that crystal, was this almost telepathic connection between me and the crystal. And at the time, very similar now, I wasn't wearing my turban, but I was wearing another head covering, and I would stick that blue kyanite right up here every single day. Take a bath with the blue kyanite, stick the kyanite up here. One day I go out because during the pandemic, I was picking up trash. And I know, and I touched my head about 20 times a minute, just making sure that blue kyanite stayed there. I never wanted to fall or anything. So I knew that it was with me. I knew that blue kyanite was with me. And so I'm picking up trash, and I go to touch and I go to feel and I go, oh, where is he? Where are you at? Hello. And I go walking around for about 3 hours looking for that kyanite because I knew that he was with me. I knew that kyanite was with me. Tell me why. I just prayed and I said, thank you so much for the best week that I have had. Thank you for these dreams. Thank you for every experience that we created together. Just bathing and picking up trash and dreaming and having fun. And I said, if I lost you, I just hope you find someone that'll have as much joy with you as I did. And I release you. And I walked back to my place, opened up my door, and that thing was right on my bed.
That is so wild.
And I'm telling you, people could type in here right now and say, oh, you just forgot it there before you left. But when I tell you, it's I came there and when I saw it, I immediately felt as though it materialized itself back into my home on that bed. I felt that energy, and I felt that like I'm not ready to leave you either. So
I love that you're sharing this story because a lot, like you said, a lot of people will say, oh, you forgot it on the bed. But guys, apports are a real thing. Materialization are a real thing. I've actually had several items apport to me. Now, an apport means it just appears. I've had where I looked away, I look back, and there's a crystal. I looked away and I look back, and there's a flower. Right. So these things, that's amazing. And I'm so glad that you shared that, because that again, to me, proves that nature is our medicine. Yes, nature is our medicine. And we are all sick because we have disconnected so far away from nature. One of the things I talked to Rachel, and I was hoping to talk to Danae and Robin about later on, is we want to restart the Essential Oils Club at Lotus, where once a month we have everybody come, have tea and crumpets, and we educate them about an oil and show them different ways to use oils and make little remedies. Because I really, it's on my heart to start pushing again natural remedy. You know, do you guys feel like natural remedies protect your energy as well? And if you do, what natural remedies can you share with us?
Absolutely. Lavender oil. I had stress hives all over. Okay. I went to go get a doctor's note because, hey, give me some days off. They said that they were going to put me on a steroid to suppress the reaction. I'm like, I don't want you to put me on a steroid to suppress it. I want these stress hives gone. So what I really need, what I ended up doing was diluting lavender essential oil with coconut oil. And I didn't at the time enjoy the smell of lavender, but I rubbed it all over my body. I set my intentions. I relaxed. I, stayed to myself. I meditated. The next day, those stress hives were gone. No steroid was taken. I used the essential oils to help release the stress that was trapped in my body. And it was crazy. Okay. I'm not using the word heal, but just rubbing that lavender oil, I think I did it maybe once or twice. And the stress hives were gone. So I can attest to that with the lavender essential oils.
Lavender essential oil is so amazing, and people don't even realize it. It's just like the oil of oregano. Have you guys used or heard about the oil of oregano?
Mm-hmm.
That is the ultimate oil. Okay, that herb right there alone. Mm-hmm. But I'm a big advocate for black seed oil and sea moss. Okay, you heard it from me. Black seed oil and sea moss. Get you some. I have not been sick in 8 years. Okay.
That's amazing because my man, he has a friend. He lives in Philly, and he does his sea moss gels and sea moss tinctures, and he sends it to us. And sea moss is a thing to look at. And black seed oil, I'm writing that one down. Black seed oil. Okay.
I'm also a big fan of rosemary oil in general. That's a really good one for spiritual protection too.
Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
Rosemary oil, they use that a lot in spells. I remember those in the day when we had to do like protection for the household. Rosemary oil. Yeah.
Chase the black seed oil with honey, please. Chase the black seed oil with honey. It is not a very delightful taste, but it is delightful to your body.
Heard. I tell you, I should have a journal, like it's taking notes somewhere, but I can't find my journal over here.
That's okay. You could always put your camera on pause and run quick and get it. That's what I do when I'm on these live shows. I'll be like, when I see somebody in the box, I'm like, let me run out of here.
And even though this is live, it's still it's still going to be on her YouTube channel, so you can always go back for reference.
And sure will.
To everybody who's watching, big shout out. We've had the most people so far. We have 10 people watching. Thank y'all so much for this. Please don't forget to hit a like on this video, because these are the kinds of wholesome content we want on YouTube, all right, to share with everyone. I think we've talked a lot about physical protection, protecting my energy physically. What about emotionally? What would you guys say for anybody who wants to emotionally protect themselves?
Boundaries.
Tell me about
boundaries big. So like if you are in a position and you are recognizing that, especially from an emotional standpoint, that you're not feeling well emotionally, you're not enjoying what's going on, things like that, that is a moment where the emotions are telling you that something ain't right and that either a boundary is being violated or it's about to be. And that is an opportunity for you to step back, look at yourself and say, self, I have this boundary in place. I see someone is about to come and say, this boundary means nothing to me. What are you going to do about it? And the only
go ahead. Go ahead.
And the best thing that you can do for yourself, especially as it pertains to protecting your energy and protecting you, period, is respect the boundaries that you have.
Yes.
Mhm.
It took me a long time to understand that because let's say I have an interaction with Ganesha and we leave and I would feel some type of way, but I would never understand why I felt some type of way. And I would never put it on Ganesha. Now, he could have said the most distasteful thing to me, but for some reason, I would never hold him accountable. I would hold myself accountable. What would you guys say to people who have that? It's never them, it's always me. I'm the problem, kind of energy. Because what you're saying is true. Sometimes you got to check people, I've gotten really good at it now. If somebody says anything underhand to me or they're passive aggressive with me, I call it out. Because I feel a lot of people like to do that. Don't you guys think being passive aggressive is unhealthy? And I really dislike when people are passive aggressive to me because I can feel it. I'm a psychic and I can feel what you're really trying to say to me. How do you deal with situations like that?
I actually asked myself this question earlier this week, like this exact question, because this is something that I'm currently working on. Because I am someone who is often just going to like let it slide and or not even just let it slide, but just remove myself oftentimes. Because it's more so I look at it from the space of protecting my energy versus standing up for myself and recognizing where that line is and when it is that you actually do need to say something and stand up for yourself. And especially for retired people pleaser, is one of those things that you really have to focus on ensuring that in the space of enforcing your boundaries, that you are letting this person know that they did violate that boundary. Because if they don't know, they don't know.
And then and that's a valid point because I feel like I laugh off a lot of things, but I'm really hurting on the inside. So I started getting like used to telling people, what do you mean by that? Because that's what I started doing with passive aggressive people, because we get it a lot on streams. They'll make a comment and try to like let it slide. And I'll be like, I'll stop the whole stream. I'm like, oh no, I see this comment. What does this comment mean? What do you mean by that? 9 times out of 10, they cave. They cave because they know they did something wrong and they shouldn't have done that. And now all the spotlight's on them and they don't like it. So that's what I do. Ganesha, what would you say for this?
Well, there's a few things that come to mind. When I think about consciousness, the platform to ascend into higher states of consciousness is courage. We have to have the courage to allow what is coming through us, and what is on our hearts, what's on our minds to be expressed. I really feel like bottling things up can become things. When you bottle up the words, you bottle up the anger, you bottle up the shame, you bottle up the guilt, and you tuck it away. And so you're having to drink this poison, and someone else is, they're blissfully unaware. They don't it hasn't been brought to their attention. And but what happens is whenever we allow ourselves to be in the space of courage, to use our throat, to be throat chakra shamans, okay? Be a throat chakra shaman.
Wait, we can't hear you. We just lost some audio.
To speak in such a way and to invite the words to come into your throat in such a way that you can speak very clearly about what's going on in your heart, what's going on in your mind, how this made you feel, and advocating for yourself. I think that that's a very, 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 very important. And the other thing that I want to say, the thing that I want to say about this for emotional protection is the word intimacy. Is into me I see. Intimacy. Into me I see. And so if I am intimate with myself, if I am into me I see, And I know what is non-negotiable for me. I know my values. I know my intentions. I know the love in my heart, right? Then that is what I think is worth spending time. Worth spending time emotionally is to increase your awareness, and also to increase the awareness of the people who are around you. Case in point, one thing I will say is that I have developed such an incredible relationship with one of my dear friends, Ozine. Over this past year, I just think of him in regards of the into me I see, and I also think of my friend. Jamel Kenneth, with Into Me I See, because we have very, very deeply intimate and connected relationships that are intimate to the degree that I am never feel as though what I say to them is out of line, and I never feel like what they say to me is out of line. If I feel I have to check them, it's fine. If they feel like they got to check me, it's fine. But we are meeting each other as deeply as we continually meet ourselves. And we're continually having discourses and dialogues and really deep, soul-stirring conversations that are always keeping us in a perpetual state of like true friendship. Like, it's keeping us in a state of being being in authenticity with ourselves and being in authenticity with each other. Okay, so I think that's for me is a big, big, big thing about creating more intimacy within ourselves, that we create more intimacy with each other. And so when I'm intimate with you, when I feel like I have an authentic relationship with you, there's no fear of what I have to say to you.
It's so funny because Ganesh and I just met up on Sunday. We haven't seen each other in months. And we just met up on Sunday for my birthday. And we had a moment. We had a little get together. We had a couple people at the house. There was a lot of food. There was a lot of drinks. There was a lot of, herbal remedies available for everybody, oil of oregano included. And, it was so beautiful because they had this moment at the nighttime. My back was hurting because, I have like pains in my body, and I was laying down on the carpet, and I have one of those projectors, that go up on the ceiling with all the moving lights and stuff. And I was just lying down on the carpet looking up at it, and Ganesha came and lay down next to me. And we just had like the most fantastic time, right? We were just talking to each other about our dreams, our wishes, our hopes, and just lying there looking at the ceiling. And I thought, God, I love friends like this, and it's kind of like,
it was absolutely beautiful.
It's a moment I'm going to treasure for the rest of my life, because it was me, Ganesha, and I believe it was Humble Savage. She was there too, I think. I can't remember because I was just so like caught up in the moment. But I feel like these moments we can have if we properly protect our energy, because you can't have, like he said, you can't have these moments with people that are in your life more because they're snooping on you or want to see what they can get out of you. So all of these things we're sharing with you guys, it's really to get you to have that clarity, to see who you can have these intimate connections with. Right? Yeah. Oh, Ozine said,
can I add something to that real quick?
Yeah.
I want to add something to that real quick because, and one time, and Danae was there as well too. But over this past weekend for your birthday, Uma, one of the other things that I noticed, and I just want to speak to this as well, is I noticed how beautiful it was that our dialogue has increased to the degree that I also did not. I'm a very huggy, lovey, kissy person. But from our last encounter, I was way, you know what I mean? I know that was to the degree of like what you were uncomfortable with, actually. So this time, whenever I was there, I had that in my mind, right? Because of you being willing to share that with me, and us also having a deep and intimately connected relationship, that you were able to express to me that, you know what, I can't do all these hugs and everything like that. So whenever I was there this time, I actually took it within myself. To be like, you know what, I still got a hug coming through the door. I still got a hug coming through the door, but I wasn't as much. I got me one hug coming through the door, but I also recognize where I elevated in my thinking because of your willingness to express what you need from me as your friend. You know, and if we don't express those things, if we don't share the boundaries, then there are none. You know, Jay Kenneth, one of my best friends as well, he took me to this play. It was an incredible play that was on Broadway. And in that play, one of the biggest overarching messages is that if we don't establish something between each other, there will never be anything there, because we have not taken that initiative to ensure that the understanding is there, to ensure that there is a mutual agreement, you know, between each other, which I think is really important.
I want to speak on that. I'm so glad you brought this up now, because we're talking about emotional protection. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm a HSC, a highly sensitive empath. So when I was growing up, I couldn't wear, my mom and her sister love going to consignment shops and antiques and stuff. And they like to buy clothes, and, you know, nothing wrong with that. But when I tell you, when they bought me clothes and I put it on my skin, it don't matter how many times they washed the clothes, it would itch my skin. And I would not feel good, because I could feel everything. I could feel whatever the person was feeling who wore those clothings. So my mother and her sister thought I was, you know, bougie growing up. Like, I just want new things, but they didn't understand how really strongly empathic I am, which makes me a great spiritual teacher and healer, but it's not so good in real life situations. When I hug people, I feel everything. I feel how you feel today, how you feel yesterday. And I can even feel how you're going to feel tomorrow, right? And it is a protection for myself that I limit how much physical interaction I have with people. So it's hard for me to like find the words, because a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, oh, Uma's standoffish and whatever. But if I'm down low in my energy, I can't hug another person, because I can't take on more of whatever it is they're going through. And I can't trust their words, because a lot of times, don't we do this, guys? Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. I'm fine. But we're not fine. And I can't take the risk of you saying with your mouth, not Ganesha, but people in general saying with their mouth, I'm fine. And then I hug you and I realize you're not. And now it's too late. Because when I leave a person, that hug is still on me, and it can sink me into a depression. So I'm so glad that you brought this topic up, because that is another thing about emotional protection. You have to know your level of frequency. You got to know your frequency. I have a very high frequency. It's when we do Reiki shares, you know, Reiki shares is where Reiki healers come together and heal each other. I have to have the person I know at the head of the table, usually Danae or Rachel or Robin, because my crown chakra, if you just lightly touch me like this, it feels like you're digging into my head. And again, going back to my earlier conversation, right? We always say we're the problem. We never say it's other people. We say oh, it's me. I'm weird. I don't know why I'm like that, or I'm sensitive, or I'm too frail or weak. No, I'm a really strong empathic healer. And the slightest touch gives me a headache, you know? So do you guys understand that? Like, have you had those situations for yourselves? Because I'm a HSCs as well.
Mm-hmm. I have had some of those experiences. Well, not quite to that intensity, and I'm grateful for it, to be quite honest. But yes, I have had those moments. And it's like sometimes I will come into a room and, like, for example, at my job, I am trained as an advanced IET practitioner, integrated energy therapy. I have dropped so many heart beams in that building, in that room. And I have also at the four corners of that room put little pieces of selenite for me specifically to continue my wellness, because people will come in with whatever they're coming in with and I'm fine. And I'm like, no, you're not. I can see it. I can literally see it on your body that you're not.
Yeah. And then we are left to judge ourselves, because then people lie. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't believe that mumbo jumbo crap. But they're hurting, and we can tell that they're hurting. And then we look like the bad people out there. So that's another way that you have to protect yourselves too. But I will say this, I am getting better at hugging people. Just I gave you a hug on my birthday. I did.
I know. You know, and it's so interesting because I really, really feel the same way. And there's actually the teacher Rose Tree. I think you know Rose Tree.
Yeah.
That she many years ago, I was drawn to her book on the 30-day empath. And whenever I was going through that book, I realized how much of that I really felt like. Now, what's so interesting with hugging, there's a hugging saint in India. Her name is Amma, and she's in South India. And for me, I really feel like I feel connected to hugs in such a way that it's like her, because every saint, every sage, every rishi, every yogi, every person throughout life, Jesus, Mahavira, Buddha, they have all experienced these tragic deaths. And it's because of what is happening. You know, when you literally have millions of people around the globe who are coming to you as a source of healing, to take away their problems, to take away their anger, to take away their shame, to take away their guilt, to take away their confusion, to take away all of these different things. And so whenever, you know, like everyone here on this panel, Uma, Rachel, Danae, whenever you are doing this, when you're out doing this work, you're out leading yoga and you're out doing these things as well, it's incredibly important to be having a self practice that is absolving you of those negative energies every single day. You know, as a yogi, for me, it's sadhana. It's the hours between 4 and 6 when I'm not out or spending the night somewhere. It's the hours between 4 and 6 and dedicating my time to my practice and cleansing my body and cleansing my mind and cleansing my spirit and doing things when I'm no longer in the presence of people, that is allowing me to clear out that energy all the time so that it doesn't get clogged in the system. So one thing I want to say in regards to this as well is, if you don't have a daily practice, I want to be a person to tell you that you need to have a daily practice and a daily way of washing yourself new every day. And I am speaking to physically washing and showering. You know, a highly sensitive person, a highly sensitive, energetic person, psychic, medium, empath, healer, no matter what it is, you could be having 3 or 4 showers a day and it's totally fine, because the water has such an incredible cleansing effect on all of your energies, right? So that's one way. But the other way is having a daily practice for yourself, whether that's journaling, whether that's Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga. Obviously, I'm a yoga, sound healing. You need some way, right? Because it's inevitable that we are going to be bombarded each and every single day with a person running up like me to hug you, or a advertisement you saw that just kind of made its way into your psyche. You started thinking about it, or you were reading through some sort of document that had some symptoms that look so similar to what you've been experiencing in your own body that you haven't been wanting to tell anybody about, or there's been a myriad of different things that you get bombarded with every single day. But you need a daily practice of cleansing your energy, cleansing your mind of these past experiences, so that we can continually every single day walk into the world fresh and renewed, and also, whenever we're doing daily practice, it's allowing our relationships with others to be fresh or new, because it's just like, I can't see you as the same person you was yesterday, because I know that I'm not the same person that I was yesterday that I am today. There's something about me that has crept forward 1% better than that previous day. So I know that has to happen to you, because guess what? When we are healed, we're not healed alone. That healing transfers to everybody within my circumference, everybody in my community, and very inch by inch, it travels all the way around the world as well too. So I want to advocate for daily practice, and I want to advocate for us doing things each and every single day to cleanse that energy out. You have to find your thing and do that every day. Don't skip a day. My friend Jay Kenneth, he has a gratitude journal that he's been doing consistently each and every single day. And what they have discovered from gratitude journals is that when you get into the highest vibration of the entire cosmos, gratitude and appreciation is the highest vibration of the entire cosmos. And the more that you appreciate something, the more that you give gratitude for something, the more that life continues to give you other things to be grateful for. The more that you serve, the more the universe serves you. It's all laws of the universe as well too. So cleansing and doing that type of thing every single day is very important. My friend Azine does mindfulness practices each and every single day. I've just picked this up off of him energetically, but even for this person, he's always going through this beautiful mental dialogue of speaking and communicating with his higher self about each and every single one of his actions. I don't think that he knows that I know that he does this, but I can tell in every moment whenever he's making the conscious decision to speak to the higher part of himself, that is helping to regulate his emotions throughout the day to day. So I just wanted to put that in there. I'm sorry, not be long-winded, but daily practice and finding your thing that's a part of your ascension journey is very important.
I could really sign off on this, because how we have initiations from masters and gurus and Reiki master teachers and stuff. We also have energetic initiations from the other side, from the world of ascended masters and avatars. I remember the day I got my very first energetic initiation. I was in my house. I was married with my 2 little children, and I was mopping the floors in the kitchen. And I was full of gratitude. And it was that gratitude, something happened, because that's every time I remember this memory, I always remember me mopping, because I remember being grateful that I had a kitchen to mop, my very own. And I was grateful for how big my kitchen was. And I was grateful for the mop and what a great job the mop. And that's how I was talking to myself. That's how I always talk to myself. I have a heart of gratitude. And I was grateful that the solution smelled so good. And I'm just mopping, and I'm happy, and I'm content in my world. And I just remember it. It was like a lightning flash behind my eyes. And ever since that day, my life changed. So you're 100% right about gratitude. And when I went to yoga school, when I went to the ashram and I lived there, I didn't like how you noticed it in your friend. Other people noticed it in me, including my guru at the yoga school, because we were in class one day talking about the 7 paths of yoga, right? Bhakti, Raja, right? And he said, look at Uma. She has a heart of gratitude, and she will go far in life, because he said the ascended masters love a grateful heart, and they will go above and beyond to work in your favor. And I do. I do, because you have to understand, I came from a third world country. So there is nothing I can complain about ever. There is nothing I can complain about because look at what I have. I don't need no more. And I always say that. I keep getting more. And I always keep saying, I don't need no more. And concerning the morning practice, I would love, I already know each of us have a morning practice. I would love for you guys to share what your morning practice is. For me, I actually do talks on my morning practice because I've been doing this for 20 years. And I say I have merry mornings, MERRY, because I meditate, I exercise, I do Reiki on myself, I do a reading for myself, and I do yoga. That's my mornings. And like Ganesha said, I have to do that because I'm on streams all day, seeing over 1,000 people a day on streams. I go to my center where I'm seeing 1 or 2 or 3 people for client sessions that are doing some really deep, heavy shadow work and inner healing. And then I'm a very social person. I'm surrounded by all my friends that I chat with throughout the day in different various group chats. It's a lot of pull on my energy. So I find like with my morning practice, I have to take 2 to 3 hours to do my morning practices. That's why my day technically starts at 11 a.m. because the whole beginning from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., those 4 hours is for me to do my thing, to get me ready for the day. Danae, what would you say your morning practice is? Do you have one?
Absolutely. So I started mine with Mary when you came out with that years ago. And then I made some changes to it. There is a space plate that my friend sent me after my mom transitioned. And this space plate, you hold different sacred symbols on this copper plate, and then you say different affirmations. What I do is I randomly flip to different pages, and then I meditate on it. I say my affirmations. I, put my hands in the symbols. I definitely do my sun salutations. That helps me get myself up, get myself going. And then I really enjoy turning on the diffusers around the house. I light my incense, and then I light my candles before I get my day started. That really helps me. That helps me get going.
I love it. Rachel, what about you? I know, Rachel, you have a morning routine.
I do. So the second my alarm goes off, once I sit up, the first thing I do is meditate. That is first and foremost before I get out the bed, before I do anything else. I might take a sip of water, but that's it. I will meditate. And then I will shower immediately after I meditate. I will do a reading for myself. I will journal on that reading. And then depending on the day, because this part comes throughout the day, I will talk to my altar. I prefer to do it in the morning. Sometimes it happens in the evening, but at some point in the day, I am always going to talk to my altar. Me and the altar, we have a very deep conversations and a very deep connection to the point where there have been times where it's like, I've missed that. And I will get like a zing, like right here. That's like, hello, what are you waiting for?
I love it.
Yeah.
And
so
Rachel does a lot of great, like we actually, this week I'll be working with her because she does a lot of great classes at my center with journaling, communication, talking, body talk, all that stuff. So I love that you're true to your craft. You're true to your craft. All right. We have 2 more things to go. Tell me about mental protection. I like to say, be careful what you watch on TV, right? I don't watch the news. I find out about it enough from social media. You kind of find out what's going on in the world today, but be careful of what you're feeding your brain. That actually adds to a lot of stress in our lives and exhaustion. Mental exhaustion is a real thing. And I feel people are not getting enough sleep. What do you guys think about what I said, or anything else you want to add about how you can protect yourself mentally?
I completely agree with what you said. And in that same vein of like watching, like making sure you're like watching what you're watching, is also minding your business. A lot of times we'll be like talking about other things, talking about other people, seeing what's going on with other people and stuff like that. That's not your business. All that does is stress you out. One of the greatest things that you can do for yourself mentally, especially in the realm of protecting your energy, is minding your own business.
I love that because we don't talk enough about that.
I'm telling you.
All right. Anyone else? Mental protection.
I will I will definitely talk about mental protection, and this is a huge thing for me. It's huge thing for me mentally. And this one I also discovered from my friend Jay Kenneth. And it is a simple phrase that you can keep in your mind and you can use at any point that there is something that you do not want to digest in your consciousness. And this simple phrase is, I do not receive that. 5 words, I do not receive that. And I will tell you right now that there are moments when I am speaking this in my mind while I am staring at someone and listening to them speak to me. And I can, and what's so interesting about, because people say people just be, I mean, there's so many things that we get bombarded with all the time. But as the creative director, writer, author, and actor, and supreme artist in your play and the life that you are co-creating with the divine, you get to direct this. You get to receive and not receive what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does not align with you, if it in some way contorts the image that you are holding inside, that you are whole and complete and perfect just the way that you are free to say, I do not receive that. I remember, case in point, I'll use this as an example, but I remember before I went to India, we had one of my friends that I went to college with who she tragically died. I mean, it was a very freak accident that she was in a car accident and she died very, very young. And so I hadn't been inside of a church in quite a while. And I'm not so eager to go into the church and into traditional funerals anymore, but I decided to go for her. And I went in, and everything about the service was very wonderful. And I think that they did a very, very good job about honoring her and, making sure that the word was out. And it was such a beautiful amount of people that drove and flew in and came from all over to honor her. And at the end of the service, everything was so wonderful. And then the pastor, he says, now I need everybody in here to know, if you do not confess today that Jesus Christ is your Savior, and if you do not confess it with your heart, and you come up here and accept him as your savior, I don't care, but you're going to hell with gasoline draws on.
Oh, wow.
And I know that he was 80% serious and 20%, there was a little bit of that joke in there, but he was mostly very serious because he doubled down on saying, you need to come to the altar right now. You need to get saved right now. It was a part of the benediction. I said in my mind, I do not receive that.
Right.
I do not receive whatever you are trying to program me to believe, that I'm going to hell. I'm not going to receive this idea that I am unworthy. I'm not going to receive this idea that I am serving a punitive God. I'm not going to receive those ideas that there's something that is in you to program into me. That's what I will say, protecting you mentally. I don't receive that.
I love that you say that, because I do that all the time. And I even include a nope, like a handprint. Nope, I don't receive it, because Yeah, like I block that energy. I'm like, no, I'm not receiving that right now because I'm a psychic medium and a tarot card reader. I have a lot of people that come to my streams that want to read me without my permission, and I don't have everybody read me because people, this is another thing that you guys need to understand. If you I'm going to say this to make it really easy because it's kind of hard to explain energy, but let's say you're a level 10 in your energy and you go to a reader that's a level 4, they're always going to read you wrong. They're always going to read you wrong because they're reading above their pay grade. So after you guys noticed that, right, Rachel? Like after a while, I couldn't get anybody to read me. And then people were saying to me at these events, well, you're lacking self-awareness, or you're not aware of these things, or you're in denial because the readings were so wrong. And then again, what did I say at the beginning? We tend to blame ourselves. You're right. I'm wrong. There must be some darkness in my soul. I must have an attachment. You're right. I must be having a tower moment. You're right. My man is cheating on me. Like, you start to accept it because you don't ever, for the life of you, believe that your vibration is so high that that person can't reach it. So when people come into my streams and stuff and they try to read me, I tell them, no, thank you, right off the bat. And then they'll say, oh, well, I read you anyways without your permission. And I can see, and I say, I stop that. Right. In my highest self, I stop that because I'm letting the universe know I'm not receiving anything of this, and it's not going to play out in my life. So thank you. Thank you for saying that, Ganesha.
But
Praise
you've
God.
used that many times, Uma. You said I do not receive that. And I was like, dang, Uma. I was like, okay, you're right. Like, you know you better than them.
That's it. You don't know my life.
But the other thing that I will say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the other thing that I will say is that I'm very big on japa meditation. And japa, for anybody that may be interested, japa meditation is having a mantra. Preferably, if there's a mantra that comes to you from a guru just means teacher. And you can have someone who's your Satguru, so that means that you're devoting it. This is the ultimate guru for you. This is the person who you're a devotee of this specific person. But we have many gurus throughout our life that we learn from. But basically, if you have a guru mantra, which basically means that there's a specific mantra that's been given to you by a person who has used that mantra probably their entire lives, and they have basically experienced what is called mantra diksha, which is essentially that they have themselves used the mantra to the degree that they have unlocked the powers of that mantra. And so if they initiate you into the mantra, then you are on a fast track to actually being able to acquire the energies of that mantra because it's been given to you by the guru. It's called a Shaktipat Diksha. It's an initiation into that energy. But say if you just want to work with a mantra, there are so many that are available to you that you can use without being initiated by a guru. For instance, you have Om Namah Shivaya, or Om Ganganapataye Namaha, or or even just a bija mantra like Om. What's so interesting and everything like that is you look at these movies, you look at TV shows, and you see how some of them can almost caricaturize sitting in Padmasana or Siddhasana in a yogic, easy posture with your hands in Gyan Mudra, and they say Om, and they make fun of it in such a way. And I've always kind of held the belief this, like, why are they caricaturizing this? Because, like, whenever you actually experience the full benefit of that, tears will fall down your face.
Yes.
Right.
Tears, not even just sad tears of connecting with something that is beyond your physical body that comes in to give you a true and authentic experience of life that hardly anybody on this planet has ever had. And let's just be very clear. There is a very tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of people who click out of the matrix, who click out of, just what everyday life is telling us to feel something real, And so what I want to tell you with japa meditation and chanting is that it is an amazing, amazing way of removing the layer of whatever's going on in your mind and just putting something else in there.
Yes.
When my japa meditation is, and for me, my japa has gone on as long as an hour, 2 hours, however long. But that's not the point. The point is to be consistent with it. Even if you did 5 to 10 minutes every single day, there's a part of that mantra that starts to call you. It's no longer you. It's like brushing your teeth, right? I know when I haven't brushed my teeth.
Yes.
And the mantra does the same exact thing. The mantra will continue to be a part of you and draw you into its power until you fully acquiesce the power of that specific mantra. You'll see amazing things happen in your life. I'm telling you, because you're talking to people and something else is going on. You're hearing Om Namah Shivaya. I'm having a conversation with Danae, and I'm just hearing Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So what does that mean? I'm in conversation with Danae, but at the same time, I'm in a deep conversation with God. I'm in conversation with Danae, but at the same time, I'm in a deep conversation with love because God is love. I'm talking with Danae, but I'm in a deep conversation with peace because I'm not allowing the thoughts that are bombarding my mind to take over. I'm actually going to think in my mind while I'm communicating and still existing with life. I'm going to think something more positive and instill that in my mind, and that's what true mantra is. Mantra is something that's taking over whatever those thoughts are in your mind with a specific phrase, okay? That's reconditioning your thinking.
I love it because I do mantra in the morning when I meditate. I find I went to Deepak Chopra's center in California, and they had a expert there that this is so cool. They were able to calculate the exact sound the universe was making when I was being born.
Wow.
Yeah. And they wrote it on a piece of paper and they gave it to me. And it's my own private mantra. And thank you, Natalie. She said, great show, Uma and guests. Appreciate you guys listening. And they wrote it on a piece of paper for me. And when I chant it in the morning, they say it's bringing me back to my true essence. Kind of like how I do a soul plan reading for my clients. It's reminding me why I came here and keeping me strongly affirmed. I actually wanted to learn how to do that. And I think I have to follow up with the Chopra Center about that to learn how to do it, because I wanted to do that for people to be able to calculate the exact sound the universe made when they were being born. But the one thing about meditation, guys, I've been meditating for 20 years, but it hasn't been consistent. Like I used to meditate every single day, but I've had so much change come into my life within the last 4 years between actually having a partner move in with me and live with me. So now I have somebody in my room, and then having my kids go to college and, ending high school and like just so many different things going on. But, I don't be hard on myself. I say, you know what, you're going to get up, you're going to meditate today. And it's okay if you don't meditate tomorrow or the next day. You're going to get back in your rhythm. You will, because soon this house is going to be empty with both my kids gone to college. And I will have all the time in the world for myself so I can get back on my schedule. But I'll tell you something about when you're meditating every day, you crave it. You crave it. Like I even now sitting here, I just feel sometimes to just close my eyes and go within, and I can go there very quickly and very deeply because I just love it. And the way you feel, guys, after you meditate, you have had a good sit for 20, 30 minutes. It's indescribable. It's in like a peace just permeates you. And that's why I think meditation is also a highest form of protecting your energy. Because one thing I notice after I meditate is when I come out of a meditation, it's almost like there's an invisible buffer between me and the world. I could come out of a meditation and one of my kids could come running to me, oh, mom, I need this, and whatever. And it's almost like they're talking to me in slow motion. because I can hear everything, but without feeling that emotional charge that they're feeling. I feel like meditation takes away the emotional charge on a lot of things. And we live in a world, my boyfriend said it best. He said, attention is the new currency in this world. Attention. When you look at all the apps you're on, the Instagram, the constant scrolling you do, that's purposeful. Because the longer you stay on their site means you're not on any other site. You're boosting their ratings. You're showing that they are popular. They're the most popular app. So they're going to do things to get your attention. That's why it's so hard to get off these apps once you get on. You stay stuck there for hours and hours and hours. So when you start meditating, it doesn't allow your attention to just go anywhere willy-nilly. It's like you're just kind of like, you're more purposeful. Where am I going to put my attention? Right? I think Rachel, was it Rachel or Ganesha who said it earlier? Mind your business. Right? Yeah, Rachel, mind your business. It makes it easier to do things like that. I want to wrap up with the last thing for us to get into: spiritual protection. A lot of people know about protection when we talk about boundaries and, protecting your mindset. But what does spiritual protection look like? What can people do? I would like to start by saying prayer. We have come so far in the metaphysical world that sometimes I get upset that people remove themselves so far from religion. Religion is not a bad thing. People in religion is what creates the bad things. But the actual religion itself, a lot of religions have, I don't know if you guys know this, there's over 4,000 religions in the world, and they all abide by the one key concept, which is the golden rule. The golden rule, which is do unto others as you would do unto yourself. That's it. So prayer is a way of you contacting that most high, that is most high to you. Whether you call it God or the universe or Mother Goddess or tree plant, right? It doesn't matter. But you believe in a higher source beyond yourself. And when you pray and you ask for guidance from that source, I feel that's like the highest form of spiritual protection you can have. But let me open it up to my panel of guests and see what they say about that.
I love that. Prayer is definitely the top. Your relationship with God is essential. Without God, you wouldn't be here. And as a co-creator, you have to be connected to source. You have to. You are. It's not you have to, ready or not. It's there. So meditation, prayer, gratitude, outreach, those things, those things are essential. That's my 2 cents.
Anyone else? Spiritual protection.
I'd love to add to that. I am a prayer warrior down. And I will tell you, if I will tell you that prayer can move mountains. And it can move mountains. And I'll tell you, I'll give you, one of my practices. And this comes also from one of my mentors, Dr. Reverend Jim Webb. And whenever I, went into Tacoma Metaphysical Chapel many, many years ago, one of his first sermons was the magical 5 words. I don't know. It's so interesting. My first magical 5 words was, I don't receive that. But this next magical 5 words that I want to share with you is, God, I let you in. And those 5 words, and holding on to those 5, even if that's your only prayer, say you wake up in the morning, before you blink, open your eyes. Your mind is already in an alpha state. What does alpha mean? Alpha state means relaxed awareness. If you go into the state beyond that, that's more of an active awareness. That's your beta state. But when you're in alpha state, when you're in a relaxed awareness, and you allow God to be at your meditation before your eyes blink open to take you into the world, you have an opportunity to connect with the divine in a way that will make you shake. I'm telling you. So get into the habit of, before your eyes even blink open, when you feel as though your consciousness is turning back on and you have been invited onto the wake up list, because not everybody makes it onto the wake up list. Let's just be very clear. You made it into the wake up list, and the very millisecond that you realize that you have just made it onto the wake up list, with your eyes closed, you say, God, I let you in. God, I give this day to you. You can see around the corners, and you can see into the places, you can see into the people, you can see into the conversations, you can see into everything that may not be immediately available to me at this moment. And so I give this day to you, and I let you into this day, because I know that you will not steer me wrong. I know that as if you are the captain of this ship, that I'm going to make it to land each and every single time.
Mm.
And
Love that.
that is the power of prayer.
Yes.
Praise God. Praise God. Okay.
Oh,
You're going to
that
get me
was
channeling on here. Go
that
get me
was
channeling.
that was really, really deep. And I think I will invite you guys back as a panel for future shows, because I feel like when it comes to the spiritual side of life, I feel all three of you are my really close friends, but you have grown in your respective businesses, and you have so much knowledge and wealth of information to share. So I am grateful to each of you for sharing your information here tonight. I want to thank everybody who showed up. We have had consistently between 7 to 12 people at a time watching. That really warms my heart, guys, because we are the real teachers, out here. We're not just content creators online. We actually teach classes and see clients and do sound bats like Ganesha did recently. So we are the real teachers out here in the world, using the social media as, to me, what it should have been used for, which is to spread and disseminate this knowledge and experience that we have. So I hope that our personal experiences have helped you guys grow in some shape, way, or form. I'm going to let each of these amazing panelists tell you how you can get in contact with them. If you guys want to drop your links in the comments section, they will stay in the comments section, that you can drop them in there, and just let everybody know what you have coming up. I'll start with Rachel, go to Ganesha, then go to Danae, and then we are going to be done for tonight. And I want to let you guys know the next UMA Talks will be on Wednesday, February 5th. For the month of February, we are focusing on love and relationships. It is the month of Valentine's. So the topic for Wednesday, February 5th is redefining love relationships in this modern society. So what does it mean to be in a relationship? And what tools and techniques can you have to create healthy relationships? All right, I'm going to give it over to Rachel.
Hello, and goodbye soon. And like I said earlier, you guys can find me on Facebook at Cypress Rose LLC, or you can find me on TikTok at by, as in goodbye, _I'm_Rachel. And that's where I do daily readings. That's also where you can just keep up with me in general. But on my Facebook page, that is all things metaphysical, from readings to astrology, energy work, and all that good stuff. And you can also find me at the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center, coming soon.
Facts. All right, Ganesha.
Hey y'all. Y'all go ahead and follow me at Shanti Baba Ganesha on Instagram. I am going to be. I also have a sound bath coming up at a luxury cottage in Silver Spring, Maryland. So if you're in the Silver Spring area, and will be around the DMV area. I have one coming up this Sunday. I have a few that are going to be scheduled at Vita Fitness and also Bali and Springs going into next month, and at the Lotus. At the Lotus and the Light, we're holding that intention. We got some stuff. I think we're going to start getting it popping over at the Lotus and the Light. So I'm ready.
We sure will.
I'm definitely ready to do an event. So I'm going to get with my good sis expeditiously so that we can get that planned. I also do private sessions. What's very interesting is I don't know very many people who have. I use hand-beaten full brass bowls from Kathmandu, Nepal, and Rishikesh, India, and the bowls that I use actually go on you. They're on your physical body, so you feel the physical vibrations on you. With the crystal bowls, it's very different. But the using the metal bowls is something that's completely different, and you can feel them on the different chakra. They're all attuned to the different chakra frequencies as well. So people report, going out of body, going into theta, lucid states, very different things. So if you're interested in doing even a potential, one-on-one session where I'm also very comfortable with anybody that would want to integrate anything like CBD or psychedelics within moderation. I am also trained to hold space for that as well too, so that you can have an experience of going deep within yourself as well. So that's me.
I love it. Danae?
I love it. Here, HERE on Facebook, Queen DJ 444 on Instagram. I'm working on my website, but that is coming soon. The Lotus and the Light on meetup.com. I host a weekly In Memory of Grief support group. And I haven't scheduled any classes just yet, but the Lotus and the Light is my home center. So I plan to, work with Uma on what is coming in the future.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to hang out in the back room. Give me a second. I'm going to end the show. Just go ahead and mute yourselves, guys. And thank you to everybody who showed up. We had a wonderful time, and we will see you again on Wednesday, February 5th. Bye, y'all.